Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. Ravi, thank you for that presentation. Ravi's actually presented me with one of my strangest experiences since being elected as an MP last year, because I dashed over to Geneva just a few weeks ago to speak to the United Nations, and my mother was very pleased at that. But I caused a diplomatic incident by tipping a glass of water all over Ravi's laptop halfway through the presentation, so he manfully soldiered on with that. Now, there's obviously we've got Wes Streety that's just come in, I'm the Vice Chairman of the APPG for Tamils, and welcome Wes. Unfortunately, we've Gareth Thomas from Harrow West has had to go, as has Keith Baker for Wickham. I'm glad that Bob Stewart from Beckenham is in the audience as well to listen to what you are discussing today. We've got a big Tamil community in my part of the world, in Sutton and Cheam in South London, and I see some children in the audience, at the back of the audience, and I know we have a number of Tamil schools where people learn culture, they sing the songs, they dance the dances and recite poetry, but I always, every time I address a group about this subject, I always wonder what those children have to learn about the horrors of Portcullis and those sort of experiences that their family have had to go through. It was actually sitting in these seats here last year when I had one of the hardest things I had to listen to, some of the stories of the survivors of Portcullis, people being sliced open with hospitals deliberately being targeted despite those coordinates of the hospital to go to actually be able to avoid them from the shell. Now, the report that we see in front of you, and I'll take the time, there's a lot of information obviously there to take it, but I'll sit there, have a take away a book and read it, and let's digest it together and work out what we can do. But Bob asked what we can do as parliamentarians. He asked what we can do as a community together. What I would say is that the United Nations are due to discuss this in March next year. It would be the easiest thing in the world for them, for the Sri Lankan government to actually have this go beyond March, push it into the long grass, push it further into the long grass, and then it falls off the edge because there's something more important to be talking about. What I would say that it's incumbent on the government, it's incumbent on politicians to keep this right at the forefront of the United Nations agenda. So it's not just about the historic land grabbing and the return of land that it has started, but it's not progressing nearly quickly enough as the Tamil community would like, certainly the Tamil diaspora here. So it's important that we, as parliamentarians, look at the new regime, look at the new government, who we believe that we can work with to escalate progress, that we make sure that we, as friendly neighbours, talk to them and make sure that they can actually deliver what we've talked about for so many years. That means returning land to the rightful owners. It means having international representation on the tribunals as well, so that Tamils, both within Sri Lanka and diaspora, feel confident to be able to return, to be able to give evidence, to be able to reconcile what's happened and bring Sri Lanka back together again. So these are important things that we can do. We need to obviously be able to return people to their homes, so the camps, the IDP camps that are there can be dismantled and people can feel safe to go home as well. So I'll leave it at that. And I'll just say thank you very much for coming. Thank you for the British Tamil Forum for hosting this evening. And let me pass you over without further ado to Wes Streety, my colleague, only All Party Parliamentary Group for Tamils.